A wise mentor once told me that if I learned to love what I did, I would never have to work a day in my life. Wise words indeed, but that isn't true for many people. Many people live to work and they miss out on so many aspects of life. And the reason for that, I believe, is down to a law, a silent law, but one that is so prevalent, so ubiquitous, that it affects every one of us and many people aren't even aware of it. It's called the law of conformity. Now, what is the law of conformity? The law of conformity basically says you will conform to your surroundings. And it's expressed many different ways. It's responsible for the adage of, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. But the way that I express the law of conformity in its most simple form is this: you become who you hang with. Now, the challenge with that is that you will actually adapt to the expectations of your peer group. Let me say that again. You will adapt your behavior, you will adapt your standards, and you will adapt your sense of self and life and your relationship to life, not to the people around you as much as the expectations of those who you value. Now, the question to ask yourself, obviously, is do the people that you surround yourself with hold you or have expectations of you at a high standard? Because if they don't, you're going to adapt to that. Now, do they demand the very best of who you are? Do they hold you to that standard? That's a peer group that you want to be around. Now, unfortunately, most people don't have a peer group like that. They have a fear group. Why? Because they're scared. They're scared of what other people think. They're afraid of being able to step outside of the social norms in case they're not accepted. They're afraid of not being validated. They're afraid of not being enough. And the challenge is, the paradox here is that the biggest fear most people have in life is the fear that they won't fulfill their potential. But when we're focused on avoiding the fear of the good opinion of others because we want to stay secure in a peer group that doesn't demand a standard from us, then you can see how there's an ambiguity there. You see, if you hang around people that want to be midwives to your dreams, that will be there when you need them, but at the same time they won't put up with your bullshit. They'll look you in the eye and tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. That's a peer group that you can grow together with, arm in arm. That's not going to choke the potential out of you. And for many people, they don't have that, which is why it's time to change. And it's also why I created the Master Circle. So I created the Master Circle for three primary reasons. The first is just that. It is an incredible peer group of people that will consistently hold you to a high standard and not let you lie to yourself or anybody else. They'll not let you believe false beliefs about your lack of potential or your limitations. And they'll hold you to a standard and carry you there if you need be. That's a peer group, in my opinion, and most people don't have that, unfortunately, around them. The second reason I created the Master Circle was to really learn the most cutting-edge content in personal growth. The entire industry is awash with cliches and the same old stuff dressed up in new language to be able to sell stuff that has been around for centuries. But the stuff in the cutting-edge fringes right now, in cutting-edge neuroscience, in terms of consciousness, in terms of quantum physics, that once you understand, you can start playing with the rules of life in a way that transforms everything for you. And that's really what I wanted to do. It was a place where I could teach the highest level of what I love, to learn and share with the people I care about. And the third reason that I created the Master Circle was so that we could go away and have absolute bucket list adventures, going and being bold and daring and creating magic moments that we want to tell our grandkids about for years to come. And that's what we've gone and done. And so, I love what I created with the Master Circle because it's all of that and more. However, the Master Circle is actually going to be closing at the end of this year, unfortunately. After 3 incredible years of putting this program together, I'm pulling the plug, and at the end of this year, it will be no more. Now, why is that? A couple of reasons. One is that I'm going to be focusing the next 12 months far more on writing my next book, which I'm very excited about. It's going to have a massive impact for millions of people and really create a foundational shift in their relationship to life and adversity in a way that empowers them. And that's something that I'm very excited about, but it does need my time and my focus to really give it the attention it deserves. The second reason is I'm going to be focusing on creating a few more programs for more the general audience and people that can have access to it. The challenge with the Master Circle is it is exclusive. You know, it's invitation only. There is an application process. I want to be careful about who I choose to be my best friends. And it's also, you know, because it's exclusive and we play at such a high level, it can be outside of the availability and the resources of many people. So, you know, I want to focus on bringing that back down to and creating content that's really going to change a lot of people over the next 12 months. So it's kind of mixed emotions that I say that on one hand, I'm very excited to say or announce the next trip of the Master Circle, which is taking place at the beginning of December on the incredible continent of Africa. But I'm also sad to say this will be the last adventure, the last trip. However, what a trip it is going to be. The theme of this one is focused on business and profits. Why? Because, you know, that is a massive issue for many people, and it's something that you can, you know, tangibly measure. You know, we do seminars on trips on relationships, which is great, but it's hard to measure that when you have a spectrometer on love or fulfillment. Yeah, money's something that you can keep track of. So we want to be able to focus on how do we 10x your business and profits. And there's going to be a lot of drill down on that. You know, there's going to be hot seats, there's going to be audits, we're going to be pulling people's businesses apart and rebuilding them there and then in the room, addressing the biggest challenges. There's going to be a lot of activity around business and profits, but also, of course, there is going to be the adventure side. Now, usually, the Master Circle itinerary is a closely guarded, tight-lipped secret that only myself knows. Even the people going don't know until they get there what's actually going to be happening. But, you know, maybe a staff member or two, but usually I'm the only person that knows because I keep it a big secret and it's always a big surprise. But I'm going to break protocol on that this one time. And I'm going to share with you just one of the things that we're going to be doing because it's exciting and I want to give you a little tease and a sneak preview. And that is that for a couple of the days on this trip, we're actually going to be in the jungles of Uganda trekking wild gorillas. And yes, we'll have professional guides, and yes, we'll have, you know, it'll all be within the ecology of the environment, and yes, it's going to be incredible. It's something I've done before, and it was a life-changing experience, and I want to share that with the people I care about. I want to share this with most. So that's one of the things. There's also going to be lots more. In fact, we're going to be traveling to over 3 different countries during the period of this particular adventure. And because it's the last adventure, I am loading this. I want this to be the best one yet and make it spectacular. Yeah, for a start, you know, instead of the traditional 5-day type level trips, this is a 10-day trip. I'm making it 10 days at the same price. We're going to be putting in all sorts of different surprises and other once-in-a-lifetime stuff in there that I am going to be tight-lipped about right now, as much as I'm bursting to tell you because I'm excited. But as you can imagine, it's going to be an incredible trip. So I know that for some people, this is outside of your budget. And as a result of that, I do want to share something with everyone that can help, because it is business and profits, and money is important in today's society. We can't kid ourselves with that. This isn't about being altruistic or having a poverty consciousness. This is about coming from a place of abundance. And I want to share with those that can't make the trip, because it is exclusive, we only have a small number of places. I want to share something with you that can help you with your finances. For a start, I'm going to be giving everybody that watches this a link to my business straight talk. It normally sells for 99 bucks. Please treat it as if you've paid 99 bucks for it. There's some great information on there if you have a business to be able to help you. But I'm also going to share with you a course that I teach and that I sell called How to Start a Business with No Money. This is a course I did with the incredible Jimmy Narain, who's co-presenting with me. We shot it in the Canary Islands on location. It's stunning. But it doesn't just help you start a business with no money. It changes your relationship to money, because money is intangible. It's almost conceptual. It's a byproduct or a consequence of how we measure value or perceived value. Now, I don't want to get into that now, because I'm going to give you that course for it just for watching this video, because I want to help. But now, I will say that there's far more to money than just strategy, and there's far more to business than strategy. What about the energetic blocks that people have? Now, what about being able to shift your unconscious beliefs around money that are usually holding people back? Is that possible? Well, of course it is. Why? Because as Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. Money is energy. All energy can be transformed. Now, the only caveat to that is you need a higher level of energy to transform a smaller level of energy. You're not going to turn an iceberg to steam using a match. That's not going to happen, or boil a kettle for that matter. So, being able to shift our energetic blocks, most of which come unconsciously, most of which are adopted from our upbringing through beliefs that we picked up from our parents, is a critical factor. Now, can you really see some immediate shifts if you move the energetic blocks? Well, why don't you hear from somebody that went through an exercise I took them through to do just that was on our last Business and Profits event.
Hi, my name is Audrey Ruiz and I'm an occupational therapist. I'm from South Africa and I run my own business and employ about 10 people. I attended the Master Circle with Peter Sage on Business and Profit in December 2016, and I wanted to just share one experience with you. At the time, I had been doing some work with the government of South Africa on a tender, and in about an 18-month period, I had submitted several invoices, and they were just very slow on paying. In fact, at the time of that course, my finances was quite under pressure because we were doing the work, but the payment was just not arriving. And I remember in the session, I was just doing the work that Peter prescribed, and I was working through the issues. And in that moment that I brought myself into balance, I started receiving notifications on my phone of literally thousands. I think if I recall right, it was about 200,000 Rand, South African Rands, that was being paid into my bank account at that moment in time. It's definitely been a tool that I have used daily in my personal life as well as in my business life, and it has made miraculous changes in the outcomes. Peter taught us to look at life never surprised, always amazed. So good luck with your course today.
So as you can see, sometimes there's far more to it than just marketing and sales. There's a lot of internal game, and I found that out by coaching so many business owners over the years that came to me looking for strategies on sales and marketing or time management or all of that stuff, when the real problem that was holding them back was internal. It was the psychology, the mindset of the business owner, and a lot of the stuff that they self-sabotage with unconsciously, unwittingly, and sort of running on a hamster wheel. So we take care of that as part of the program. Otherwise, you're just swimming upstream. You're learning more skills with which to make the same amount of money with. Let's get that handled. Now, is it possible to have an immense amount of fun while doing this? Absolutely. And is it possible to be able to do this while having the best time of your life and setting yourself up to make millions more dollars? Well, let's hear from one more story of somebody that came on the last trip.
Hey guys, Ryan Phillips here, and I'm making this quick video to let you know my experience about the Masters Circle Africa Business and Profits trip. Two things that I can really say. One is that it was the Business and Profits Africa trip that I went on was literally the best time of my entire life. The peer group, the mentorship, the magic moments, all the activities and experience that we went through, it was absolutely, unbelievable. Glastonbury was my number one, that went down to number two, and now that trip is literally not the best trip of my life, but the best time of my entire life. And second thing is that the massive changes that happened in our business since going. I've got a software company called bittersweet. We sell software online, and at the time I was doing the low multiple six figures per year. Following the trip, we went up to high multiple six figures, just shy of 7 figures a year in revenue. Now we're doing multiple 7 figures per year, 18 months afterwards. And I can really trace back the changes to going from that trip. A lot of people talk about the tactics and the strategies. Now, you will get some really great tactics and strategies, but I find that the difference that really made a difference with me is the mentorship and the learning and the changes that happened for me as a business owner that allowed me to run the business better and more efficiently and take it to that next level. And Pete is really the best person I've ever come across to help me with that. So it gets 2 thumbs up from me, 10 out of 10. Literally the best experience of my entire life, and sent our business to low multiple 6 figures to multiple 7 figures per year. So can't recommend it highly enough. And yeah, that's it really. I see you guys in the next one.
This is not just a normal seminar or a normal adventure trip. This is something special. And again, this is my invitation to you. If you feel it's outside of your remit, I will share this with you. One of my focuses for people who decide they want to come is to help them make enough money either before the trip starts to be able to cover the trip, or while they're actually on the trip, like with Adri that you just heard from. And there's a lot of pre-course material that is involved here. This is a complete package, and you'll be going through a lot of stuff that'll help make some shifts in your business even before you step on an aeroplane. And my intention is for you to be able to use that information to even cover the cost, so it's a zero-sum game for you, and we can just go and have fun and learn how to 10x everything from there. So if this sounds like something you want to do, I'm going to leave you with one last thought. And this comes from a gentleman called Carl Pilliner, who's the head of human potential and human development at Cornell University. And he conducted a study of senior citizens who had lived most of their lives. And he asked them a very interesting question. He said, if you could go back and live your life again, what would be different? Now you've had the benefit of hindsight. Now you've had the benefit of experience. Looking back, what would you do different? And there was two primary answers. The first answer was they all said that they would do a lot less worrying. I mean, think about it, guys. Worrying is a national pastime, and the challenge is that most of what we worry about never actually happens. In fact, to me, worrying is like paying interest on a debt you don't have yet. I mean, it's just, it wastes so much energy and potential. If you have a worrying peer group, you're probably going to be worrying. If you have a peer group that comes from fearlessness and possibility and excitement, well, you know where we're going with that. But the second the second answer that they gave was very interesting. They said that if they could change one thing, it would be the regrets they had about what they chose not to do. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's the final trip. I would love you to be part of this legacy. If part of this is resonating and you're not quite sure, don't end up with the regret of not being able to do it. Don't end up with the, I wonder what if, or what would have, because that's a game way too many people play. Instead, swing the bat, roll the dice, step up, and come join an incredible peer group. It would be an absolute honor to host you for 10 days as part of my Master Circle family in Africa. Click the link below, book a call, let's have a chat, and I really hope to see you there.